This is a wedge system of holding the side that comes up into the heel. If you imagine that's a piece of side, that's your side. Then the wedge pops in there and creates a really strong connection. Beautiful. Just beginning to expose the inlays sandwiched onto the front of the head there. This is a beautiful gouge from Switzerland, and this is a safety gouge. It means it can't cut into these edges because of the way it's shaped like that. Just now finishing off the shape with a fine file. This particular neck is for one of my current orders for a client in Scotland who's a great flamenco player. He already has one of my guitars and I'm making him a special guitar, a flamenco guitar out of spruce and cypress. This will be his, he's got a rosewood flamenco guitar called a flamenca negra, black flamenco, and now he's going to have a blanca, a white flamenco guitar, so we'll have a black and white flamenco, two flamenco guitars, black and white, to complete his collection. Every guitar maker puts elements into his instruments which signify that it's their instrument. And those points really are the head design, the shape of the actual instrument, the rosette going around the sound hole. And so I'm just finalising this, which is obviously my flamenco head design. I'm flamencoising the top of the head now. This is the flamenco head, and this is the classical head. This one's much softer, this one's much tougher, sharper. To build one guitar, I would suggest it takes about 100 hours. I used to time myself to the minute when I was in a workshop in England, and I had a little book that I used to write my start time, my finish time, and then at the end of the day I added up my hours, and then I, over a period of time, I could see exactly how long it took me to make the instruments. There you go, that's rosewood from Brazil. It's slightly charred, but it will clean up and the colours will come out. And that's the basic shape now of the guitar, which then needs to be refined by hand. This is the initial bending process here. This is the process of fine-tuning the curvature of the sides. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the timber to the hot iron, keeping it contacted until it's too hot to touch, and the timber becomes elastic, and then I form the final curve into that, and then take it away, let it cool down, and the timber sets into the shape that you want. And it's a sort of long process of refinement, and it's probably one of the hardest processes in guitar making. A lot of people have a huge problem doing this. This is the front, and I've laid out a system. You don't really see what happens inside the instrument because normally you just see the face and you see the bridge and the strings and things like that, but you don't really know, people don't really understand what happens inside. And the front's very thin, it's about 2.5 millimeters thin. And in order for it not to collapse and start to distort with the tension of the strings, we have to place on an arrangement of struts. These are called fan struts, and they support the instrument and they get carved to a certain weight and size so that you've just got the right amount of flexibility to the top. So what I'm doing, having drawn out the pattern of the strutting system, I'm now just marking the length of the struts, snipping them off. So now I've got my arrangement of struts all ready to go on. All the tools I use have to be absolutely super sharp. There's no point of using a blunt tool or a tool that's not right for the job. I'm sharpening Japanese chisels with a Japanese water stone. It produces an edge like a razor blade. So I'm just going to apply the glue to the strut. And then put it in position. Take a homemade go bars with a spring inside, and they force it down into this dish, which is a curved dish, which keeps it strong. If you imagine a curved shape is far more resistant to down push than a flat shape. And then just clean off the last remnants of the glue, squeeze out, and that's my first strut. Both of these tops have my signature rosette. We can see this is made out of mosaic, tiny little dots, 1/2 millimetre square, made by producing tiles. It's a quite long, complicated process. Each tile is angled slightly so that it goes around the form, and this is called herringbone here. This is made up and then bent, loosely bent, and then all fitted in at once, and then all smoothed off and cleaned. People often say, "That's a lovely transfer." And I say it's not a transfer, it's inlaid wood.